Hi everybody, we're going to share with you our first day of embarkation on the Carnival Radiance in 2025. We just went at the end of August, so we're going to share our daily notes with you guys, and today is day one. So getting to the terminal, there was no garage parking, so we were directed to an off-site parking facility. It ended up being cheaper.
It was one of Carnival's off lots.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like just a random parking lot or anything like that. And Carnival did send us an email like 2 or 3 days ahead of time, saying that the parking garage was going to be filled to plan other things if necessary. We didn't really think it was going to be like completely 100%. You know, they weren't letting anybody into the parking structure.
Yeah.
So, but they had a whole map and everything. We were able to still drop off our luggage there to the porters. And then they took us to where the parking was. And it was a little bit cheaper, like by $5 for the week or something like that.
Yeah. The biggest thing was that you had to pay for your parking up front. Whereas if you park at the actual cruise terminal, you don't have to pay until you're leaving from your vacation. So it's like an end cost.
Yeah, and that's normally we were like planned on, like, oh hey, on that Friday we're getting off the ship is when we would see that charge. But them doing this off-site parking, that was immediately before we could park, they charged our card.
Right. And then they do offer the free bus shuttle service from the parking garage, the off-site parking, back to the cruise terminal. So it's not like you have to pay an extra fee for that as well. So at least that doesn't add to the cost.
Yeah. And time-wise, I think we got to the port about 10 a.m. and we had a 10 to 10:30 check-in check-in time. And even us getting there at like 10 o'clock, the whole going to the other parking structure and coming back, it was probably about 25 minutes, maybe even 30. So it wasn't crazy. I mean, we still made our little arrival time.
Yeah, and I think even if we were a little bit later to the arrival, I don't feel like there would be any issues with it at all, especially with them knowing that they were shuttling people back and forth and stuff.
And for first-time people, when you are arriving at the Long Beach cruise terminal, once you're like going to go in, they're gonna have 3 lines. It's a priority and like suites and stuff like that. Then people who are arriving on time. And then there's a whole nother line. If you're late or early, they were like pulling you off to a different whole line.
Yeah.
So I would really say just come in your window. It seems to make everything just move smoother.
And it's really a decent window time, honestly, because it's a 30-minute window gap from like the time frame that you decide on, because you have to accept it or whatever. So
right.
From there, when we did arrive at the terminal, there was definitely a lot of people in like the outside waiting area. So that area is very congested with people.
Yeah.
But it didn't make the lines, the check-in lines or anything like longer or anything like that. People were just like, that group was like getting off the ship, probably waiting for their buses or waiting for their time to be able to check in.
Right.
So there's a lot of people, but things still go pretty smooth. And then the way that they board, like the tiers.
Oh yeah. So once you are checked in, none of the boarding, like they say, starts until 11 a.m. I think they started about 15 minutes earlier, but it's always going to be the suites, the platinum, the diamond members, any wedding parties.
And the faster to the fun.
And if you bought faster to the fun, that whole group goes first when they start boarding.
Yeah.
After that, it's all by a letter A, B, and then like a number. I think we're like A4. And after they let all the priority in, within like 10 minutes, they called like A1 through A4. And we started heading up. And I'm pretty sure we were on the ship by like 11:05.
Yeah, it really didn't take long, because our longest part was the check-in, where the guy checking us in, he was an old man, and he definitely mixed a lot of things up with our paperwork, and he was like taking my photo under our daughter's thing, and our daughter couldn't get a photo now because he realized he messed it up, and then he told us we needed our marriage license because my birth certificate and my ID don't match my last name. And it was kind of hectic.
Yeah.
We've been on ships before where we've never needed a marriage license.
Yeah, the marriage license thing was new, but then after he had to like confirm with his supervisor if you have a real ID, one with a star in the corner.
Yeah, the travel one. Yeah.
That was okay, that we didn't end up needing the marriage license, but he was probably just not the right person to have in that position. He was very confused. I think how things are changing with technology. It's supposed to make things easier, but I think if you're not getting the right amount of training, it can make things a little more difficult.
Yeah.
But again, it wasn't like it ruined everything or anything like that. It was just like they had like 20 people checking people in,
and we got stuck with the slow one.
All the other, they were just like 2 seconds, check your paperwork, take your picture, go through the security. So
it really wasn't bad if you had the right person, I guess. Yeah. So. And then because this is a family channel, we want to talk about how the kids did with checking in and how they did with just all of it, really. So with the parking off site and shuttling back to the terminal on the bus, they were excited to get on a bus, honestly. They were just like, woo, let's go with that fancy
it was a nice bus. They were excited. To me, with our kids, as long as we're moving or we're like doing something, they're pretty like, okay, let's go along for the ride. There wasn't really any time where it was just that sitting, where like ours would be like, okay, we're getting antsy and like we want to get up and move. And
the little bit that there probably would have been was when we took the opportunity to go to the bathrooms.
Yeah.
Because that was right after check-in. We're like, hey, bathroom break.
Yeah.
Kind of trying to fill the time with that, so there wasn't a lot of sitting.
Yeah. And when we did do the check-in, and you go through security just like an airport or any situation like that where you're going through scanners, but something that was new for us was they do have dog sniffing, like a whole line that you're going to be in. They ask you to put all your carry-on bags on the floor. The dogs are coming by sniffing everything. We did see one lady where they were like, ma'am, we're going to have you go into like a secondary, grab your bag. So I think the big thing is like drugs, marijuana, stuff like that. In California, I feel like they're probably trying to fight it a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would tell people it's not worth the risk to ruin your cruise trying to bring anything on.
For how expensive the cruises are, I mean, yes, they're great pricing when you get good deals and stuff, but for how much you're spending on vacation, it's not worth risking not being able to get on because you were stupid.
No. But back to the kids, be prepared, because like our daughter, she's like puppies.
Yeah.
And she's not realizing these dogs are working.
Now, granted, the one guy, I don't know if you heard him, he offered to let her pet him, but as soon as they started their check, it was do not touch the dog.
Yeah, you have to like back off of the line and all of that stuff. But it was really 10 seconds. The dog walked down, walked back to the other side, and they're like, okay guys, that's good, moving along. So, but it was just surprising for us, for as many cruises as we've been on, that's the first time that they were like, the dogs
Security
were there. And even once you're through there, they were still in the building. They're walking through around. So yeah, I mean, just be prepared for that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't risk anything, but you've been warned.
You've been warned. Next thing on the list is basically just once you get on board, disconnecting your or turning your airplane mode on. That's really disconnecting your data, and then turning on the Wi-Fi and connecting to the cruise's Wi-Fi, the free Wi-Fi,
their Wi-Fi,
so that you can use their free hub app. So you can see like the itinerary for each day. You can kind of see what's going on and start like liking your things and making your plans and stuff, because otherwise you have to wait until the night before to get the itinerary for the next day if you're waiting for the paper one. So
no, definitely you have to be using the app.
That
the only thing, and we'll make another video about getting onto the app and like being able to see stuff, but that's one thing I wish we were able to access maybe even a day before the cruise, because up until you're like walking on the ship, getting on their Wi-Fi, you don't have any idea of like any of the kids stuff or
what's
what dinner is or anything like that. Until really you log in.
Yeah. So. And then also once you get on the app or once you get on the ship, it's knowing like if you have kids, you have to get to Camp Ocean, you have to check them in. I don't think there's ever been a cruise that we've been on that like Camp Ocean fills up and they won't take any more kids or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I know that getting there and just getting that taken off your list of to do is just calming, because then you don't have to stress about, oh crap, I still have this to do when we get there or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the mustard station.
Yeah, before we go to mustard station, though, about Camp Ocean, you will do some like pre-registration online through the Carnival app and stuff.
Which is newer because they used to do it all there.
Yeah, they used to do it all there. So they get a lot of the paperwork and like allergies and stuff like that for your kids. But it does take a few more minutes once you're there to just kind of verify they got our pictures. So when we come to pick them up, they scan our faces, and then it was linked to our kids. So it was like they knew exactly who we were there to pick up or not pick up. So that was always good. But yeah, the muster drill, we first go there because please, people, just go do the muster drill.
Yeah.
When it's like 5 o'clock and they're still announcing to do muster drill, and it's like, you guys, it's the easiest thing. You walk over there.
And they won't leave, right? They won't leave.
The ship won't leave until everyone does it. But you like walk over there, they scan your stuff, and that's like it. You don't even have to do...
You have to watch the video online now,
There's
or
a
not
video
really?
on the Hub app. It's like a 1-minute video.
Yeah.
And then there's a sound you have to play to hear the 7 horns or whatever when there's an emergency. But we even found out that not even everybody in your party has to go to the mustard station. So like our group, if we just wanted to send my wife, she could have taken all of our boarding passes or whatever and scanned in for all of us, and that would have been done. So even if you're in a big party and like maybe one of you guys is like, you don't want to do it right now or whatever, if there's somebody in your cabin, they can scan in for you. Yeah. So it's not, too difficult to do that.
And then also with the mustard station, any kids under 12 have to wear a green wristband on their wrist for the duration of the cruise. That way, if anything were to happen and they get lost and they're not with their parent, the staff knows where that child needs to go for their mustard station. So you guys are all reunited there at least. Biggest thing is just check your child's wristband, because this is the first time, and obviously there's a first for everything. Our guys somehow had all of our letters except for our daughter's correct, and somehow he had an A and we were in the G section.
Yeah.
So he must have had wristbands from another section or whatever that were kind of scattered in his thing, or maybe he didn't realize, I don't know. But she ended up getting a different letter, and our daughter is very unique, so she got emotional about it. So we had to make sure that got corrected. What else? The boarding pass. So when you get on the ship, the paper or the boarding slip that they print you out, whichever way it ends up going, that is actually your payment card until you get your sail and sign card when they open up the rooms and you actually get to go to your room and get the physical card.
Right.
So you can use it to buy, like if you have the drink package.
Yeah, if you have your drink package or you wanted to purchase something, that card, your ID number on there will link to you, so they're able to charge it to your room.
Yep.
But yeah, we were able to do our drink packages and stuff like that just by having the boarding pass paperwork.
Yeah.
And about getting to our rooms, I think the standard time is like 1:30.
Yep.
For cabins to be open up, unless you're in like a suite or some sort of priority or faster to the fun. But I think ours even opened up at like 1. So it was like 30 minutes early. They came on and said, hey, rooms are already ready. We were able to go get our IDs and check everything, make sure everything was good. So. Yeah,
and we'll definitely show a video at some point too of like the cards being in an envelope right in front of the room. So
especially for anybody who's new to cruising and stuff, there's definitely a lot going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did the mustard, we checked into Camp Ocean, and then I think we got something to eat.
Yeah.
And if you've watched enough videos or talked to anybody, you never ever ever want to go to the buffet on embarkation day.
Yeah.
Find anywhere else. There's usually tons of other restaurants open.
Yeah.
A lot of the specialties sometimes are open and they're like free or discounted. But yeah, the buffet is like where everyone goes, so it's like the busiest. But like on the Radiance, you walked 10 feet outside and Shack's Chicken was empty. The pizza place was empty.
Guy's Burger.
His Pig and Anchor place was all empty.
Yeah.
Everyone was in the buffet, and it was just like, didn't make any sense.
I think a lot of people just don't know,
Yeah.
especially because like if they're their first time cruisers, or like they didn't download the Hub app yet, or they didn't log in into the ship's Wi-Fi, or like whatever, they just didn't know. And when a lot of the crew seems to like direct people to the buffet, I mean, what do you know, if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
So we're telling you.
The biggest thing, ice cream for the kids. Whenever, because it's hectic. It's a lot of people. Lots of people still carry on a lot of their luggage. We don't do that. I'd rather pay a porter to do that and not have to worry about it, especially with the kids. But shoot over. There's like 3 ice cream stations. Get them ice cream cones. Find a table for them to sit at, and they're happy. And then you got to figure out what the lunch strategy is.
I mean, another idea is if you're planning on eating before and you know that you're not a big lunch eater or anything like that, if a pool area is what you want, wear your bathing suits onto the ship because the pools are already open.
Yeah.
The minute you get on, you can instantly go to that pool. So if that's like something for you and the kids that the kids are really interested in, and it kind of buys your time until the rooms are open.
Yep, the water slides, the little splash pad area. There's lots of things that are already open. So if you plan ahead for that, especially if you're not going to get into your cabin until 1:30.
Yeah.
And then remember, you in your cabin at 1:30 doesn't mean your luggage is going to be there at 1:30.
That's not always guaranteed.
It means your room's ready. I think it was maybe 2:30
that
when
ours
we got
delivered.
like 2 of our suitcases, and then maybe 20 minutes later got the other couple little
3
ones
or
for
whatever,
the kids.
yeah.
So don't count on luggage. But like this trip, everything went really smoothly. We were able to eat. We do usually a whole walk around of the ship, kind of showing the kids where everything is. And then by that time, it was, hey, your rooms are ready. We're able to go in there, kind of get a little relaxed.
Situated.
Situated, bathroom breaks.
Yeah.
And then waited for luggage.
And then for us, because we were getting on for our son's birthday and my birthday, we had a whole birthday package. So when we first walked in, the room was decorated with the happy birthday package that we had bought in him.
Yep.
So it was all happy birthday everywhere. And
he had a cake that we picked out. It said happy birthday.
The lanyard he got, which we'll insert some videos, of course, throughout this
and probably do some shorts too on just specific things.
Yes.
But yeah, they had that already all set up. So he was surprised. You know, he got to see all the decorations and everything. That went really well. There wasn't anything missing or anything.
Yeah. And then just for a little perspective for us, our cabin number was 7371, and it was an interior cabin for 5. And news to me, I didn't know, because hubby usually books everything, but I didn't know that there's actually limited 5-person interior cabins. So not all of the interior cabins are going to be set up the way you're going to see in our coming videos.
Yeah, some are just set up. I mean, they have solo cabins to 2-people cabins to 3s, but 5s are pretty rare. So that's probably a whole other topic. But for like us and 5, we usually have to book out pretty far in advance. Things
at least a few months
to get like that, because if not, you're booking a whole nother cabin for one extra person technically. And that can get pretty costly. So, but we'll talk more about that
on another video. So just kind of moving along to our first day. Once we got our luggages and we kind of got situated, cooled down, things like that, we got into our swimwear and we ended up going to the waterworks area. That whole deck area right there with the waterworks, the water slides, deck 9, I believe is what it is, with the pools and stuff like
10,
that. That like little layer of decks right there is where they're going to have like all the big parties and sailaways and like all the interactions that are going on for those first couple of hours. That's like a big deal, especially your first time cruising. So we went to the waterworks. We had a great time over there. We'll definitely talk more in another video about the Nazi that was whistleblowing the entire time about every little thing.
Yeah, that'll be more of a pet peeve kind of video.
Yeah.
But it was just it was an irritating situation.
Yeah.
But, I did surprise you with dinner at the steakhouse.
Yeah.
So we did end up leaving the waterside stuff a little early.
Well, we did the sail away party was at 4. We did all that
Yeah.
first. Abigail got to dance on the deck. She did a little conga line.
Yeah.
She did the little kids dance. They had this whole little thing. They were like bringing the junior sailors, is what they call them,
Junior sailors
for the kids, and then like the whole sail away party. And then after that is when we went and got dressed, got all dried up and everything, and then we went to the steakhouse for dinner.
Yep, and it's Fahrenheit 555 on Radiance. But yeah, that was a great experience. For anybody traveling with kids, they give a lot of promos for first days and like kids eating at special prices. I think our biggest thing was we were a little intimidated of like bringing our kids to like a fine dining steakhouse kind of place,
because they can be rowdy sometimes.
They're
They're children.
But they did amazing.
Yes.
The staff there was amazing with them.
Super attentive.
Interactive with them. You know, they had coloring stuff for the kids, a whole kids menu. But they did amazing there. And so I would tell anybody, if you have kids, don't let that hold you back.
Yeah.
Because the staff kind of understands.
Yeah, they're being very understanding.
Right. And they want the kids to have a good time and the parents to have a good time.
Yeah.
So.
And we'll definitely have a whole nother video on all of these different places that we've gone and all the different things, like whether it's a short or a longer video or like just more information so we can go more in depth on those individual topics.
Yep. After dinner, what was it? Back
Camp
to Camp
Ocean.
Ocean?
Yep, we dropped them off for their first time. That's also when we got our phone issued to us.
Yeah.
Usually, it used to be only 2 and under. They must have a new thing. I don't know if it's every kid or just 5 and under now, because Everett's still 4.
Yeah.
So.
But it seemed, from the last time we were on the Radiance, they definitely got upgraded phones.
Yes.
But it seemed like every family got a ship phone.
Yeah.
And it really, all it can do is call Camp Ocean and they can call you. It doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, we tried.
You are responsible for it.
Yeah. And if you don't turn it in by the last full day at 10 p.m. is what they kept saying, but I don't know, I'm sure there's a little wiggle room there since they're open till 1 a.m. But 10 p.m. is what they keep saying on the last full day to turn it in, or you'll get charged $150 for the phone.
Yeah. But yeah, no, and I would also, when it comes to the kids and going to Camp Ocean,
first night.
The first night, definitely, because
Welcome
they do like the little kids activities, welcome parties, and this is a chance for them to meet other kids.
Yes.
And they really like, from that point, you know, when we're walking in the hallways, they're seeing friends that they've already played with, or at the water slides or whatever. So it was a great time for them to get to know a whole bunch of kids and have some fun.
And the staff, honestly, because even Everett during other events was like, she's from Camp Ocean, pointing at like the staff.
Yeah.
So
it was really good. But I think they went there for a couple hours and we went to a comedy show.
Yes, we did. We saw Larry Omaha.
Larry Omaha. Dude was funny.
My new favorite comedian that we've seen on any of the cruise ships.
Yeah.
He made me laugh a lot. But yeah, it was great. We can't, of course, video in there. Unfortunately, there's no videoing in there.
Yeah, when it comes to the comedy shows.
But it was great. He's worth a try. I think all of their comedians are required to have a kid-friendly show and then an adult version show later at night. So you can still see the comedy with your children if you can't get them in a Camp Ocean, or if Camp Ocean is closed during those times.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, because that was a whole experience as well. But the kids love Camp Ocean. Every time we drop them off, it's like we don't exist.
Oh yeah.
The minute the door opens.
And every time we pick them up, they do arts and crafts. Like they have, or you'll see it in videos, our littlest one who's got like pirate hats. They make necklaces.
Yes.
They do a whole bunch of clay stuff. There's
themed
paintings.
Nights.
There's theme nights. Like there's a whole activity list just for them. And you could like have them there a majority of the day and they would have a great time.
And they would love it. And they would literally stay the whole time. The biggest thing is just their closed hours for like lunch and dinner and stuff, which again, we'll get more in depth in more informational type videos on Camp Ocean specifically. But I think our first towel buddy of the day was that evening, because obviously we were just getting on that morning. And when the cruise comes in the morning, just like when we're getting off on our last day, you know, they're clearing the ship and they're resetting the ship and we're getting on the ship, you know. So it's our first day, but the crew is already like reset for a whole nother cruise basically. Yeah. So the first day we don't get our towel buddy until that evening, but I'll definitely insert a little clip of what our first day towel buddy looked like as well.
Yep, the kids love that.
Yeah, and overall, I mean, I think the kids did really good with just every set and anything that like changed, because obviously we had plans and we had, you know, an idea of what we wanted to do, but it doesn't always go to plan. So things change. Yeah. And, you know, with that.
Especially because you could just be walking to something you wanted to do and get stopped by what's going on, and then you've lost track of time. And
and it's really
doing
easy.
Something else.
Yeah. So the kids did great with everything that happened. We're pretty easygoing as it is. So like when itinerary changes, we're just like, okay, go with the flow kind of thing. And then I know you made a note about the Coke freestyle machine.
Yeah, that's when it comes. Each cruise line is different with their like soda
drink
packages, so their alcohol packages and things like that. I think the biggest thing, just for the day one thing, is knowing you can use your boarding stuff to get drinks if you need them, and then we'll talk more about it as an overall experience for Coke and.
The drinks and how to get them and all that kind of stuff. But overall, I mean, overall thoughts and conclusion for this video, day one was a success.
Yeah, it was good. Great. It was a long day, which is good, because if you have that long day, you know, Tuesday morning waking up, the kids were sleeping in.
Yes.
You know, they just had a long night. Like, it made it nice to just kind of start off with a busy day, and kind of we just kept going from there.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think anything else. Even picking up the kids at Camp Ocean late, we were still able to go and get them little snacks. You know, they were hungry for like fries and ice cream again. You know, I'm sure you'll see a video of my daughter that she had like.
We counted the ice creams. It's in a different video.
Ice creams. But so it was all good. First day was good, and you know,
yeah. Overall, we're excited to do it again, of course, and we love traveling and doing all that, and we'll definitely be posting more videos. But for now, day one is concluded, and we will definitely have all the rest of the days. I think this was a total of a 5-day sailing.
That 4 nights,
5 days, whatever it was. So we have however many days written out that we'll be doing each video. So definitely come check back for more, and also check out our TikTok and YouTube channels for shorts and things like that. We'll definitely be posting little shorts and videos of all of our different experiences.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, just put them in the comments, and if we know, we'll tell you, and if we don't, we'll try to figure it out, or maybe on the next cruise ask.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. So. Until then, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.